Again, the slopping and slurping noises that you're hearing is clearly something eating. Rowan, you can see it looks like this. It is also surrounded by that shadow stuff. It's really murky. It looks like it's coated in smoke, very thick liquid smoke.
Okay.
What is this structure? Just a high rock?
I'm
Or?
glad you asked. Thanks for reminding me. What you've got there, I'm going to flash a picture up. It's not that big, but you've got the idea. There was an old elven ruin here at one time, or it is an old elven ruin. There was once a temple here, or structure. It used to be graceful, but the swamp is reclaiming it. So you're seeing the bones of the structure sticking up still out of the swamp and blocking line of sight. And so that's what you're seeing.
Okay, I'm letting my party know that I'm seeing a monstrous being with a lot of arms.
And where is it? Near the portal?
Yeah, it's around there. Well, that color
Okay.
isn't helpful.
So what kind of approach shall we take? The rowdy, screaming one, or the quiet and stealthy?
Let's try the stealthy one.
Okay. So, what if
That one should be
I,
better.
what if I capture their attention while you go from the back and surprise them from the back?
We could try, but there's only this passage here. I don't know.
There's another one.
Can you
south.
distract him to like this direction?
Yes, I can.
That sounds good. Then let me try to be stealthy.
Then I use my thaumaturgy to evoke a sound coming from here.
Okay, so what kind of a noise did you make?
Some sounds of footsteps coming from here.
Without the torch, Rowan.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I guess it would be better if you put away the torch, but it also would be worse because
There are
I
the
can't
flames.
see in the dark.
There are some blue flames.
Well, yeah, they illuminate a bit. I mean, you can make the creature out right here.
Okay, Melil, you can decide whether or not to continue with the torch, but if you take any further steps, I'll assume that you have it on. You know what I mean? Holrig, you do make the sound of footsteps. You guys see the creature kind of goes still, and it slowly turns its head to face this direction. It has 4 stumpy legs that look like elephant feet, like the way their toes and feet look like. It's got 4 of those under it, and then in the front of it is just a huge mouth, and then sprouting from its back are 4 huge tentacles that end in pads that are covered in hooks. All right, Rowan, you make a noise.
I'm stepping forward here and making a noise.
Yep, makes a noise. It turns towards you, and you guys know, yeah, this thing definitely will eat anything moving as it moves to eat you. Let's see. Each of you in your mind, you see a vision, and it's more of a feeling, but you can see the mouth, like if it were above you and closing down on you. You feel your flesh being rended from your body and ground up and going into the gullet of this creature. It has some kind of a weird ability over your mind. It doesn't hesitate. All the way up to you. It's going to slap you with 2 tentacles and then attempt to bite you. Okay, he grabs you. Looks like it's more bludgeoning than piercing, but both damage types are involved. Here's the other. Okay, that one missed, but it will try to guide you towards its mouth with the 1 tentacle that does have you grabbed as it chomps down with a critical hit.
Oh.
Ouch.
That's 23 piercing damage. You guys see that it is just like you pictured in your head a moment ago. Rowan is being ground between this thing's teeth. It has Rowan grabbed. That's what that icon is. And all that grab means, Rowan, is that your speed is 0. You are otherwise unaffected.
I'm screaming in pain.
Holrig, it's your
I
turn.
heal here and use my preserve life
Okay, yeah, so Rowan, you can heal 17 hit points or half, up to half.
Then I will use my bonus action to cast the spiritual weapon.
Yeah, 5 force damage. Rowan, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm raging. Channel Divine Fury into my weapon and attack it.
That definitely hits.
Mhm.
16 total damage. Takes a chunk out of it. You bury your blade into it. It's disconcerting because this creature has like a rubbery flesh that at first would seem like it's easy to bite into, but it's really dense. It'd be like trying to chop into a rubber trash can. All right, and then Melil.
The flanking position, and I focus on the tentacle that's grabbing Rowan. Or
Okay. So Melil rushes forward, feet barely touching the ground. She leaps forward into a somersault, puts her hand on the top of Holrig's head to like somersault off of, and then does a flip over the monster, landing behind it, and stabs it. All right. And you were aiming for the tentacle that's holding Rowan. She has advantage to try and escape if she wants to,
I'll do my bonus flurries.
of course. Punches and kicks, flurrying out, pummeling the thing. And you get your open hand technique. Which effect would you like to apply?
The prone.
You knock him prone. That will shake its grasp enough. Rowan is no longer grabbed. Round 2. Melil is incredibly fast. Another stab. Purplish blood splatters out up your wrist and forearm, and then you begin punching. Another 13 bludgeoning damage. Holrig.
Cure wounds, and I will try to hit
You do so.
with the
Being
spirit.
prone means it grants advantage to all melee attackers, so that hits.
Then I'm not. I
Rowan.
will not.
Yeah, I'm channeling Divine Fury into my weapon and attack with my greatsword again.
Looks like 22 damage. Yeah. So you rip the sword out from the last swing, heave it over your head, and drop it again, chopping into the same place, biting deep into its rubbery flesh. The picture I showed you of the murk that is in the middle of the portal, you see that it like splashes out the shadow stuff onto this creature, infusing it with strength. Not much strength. Heals it for 5 hit points. And it gets its stumpy legs under it, hoists itself back upright, and it's going to tentacle Melil, tentacle Rowan, and then we'll decide on the bite. Rowan, it's got you, grabbed, and a little damage, bludgeoning and piercing, and then Melil, it does not hit you. You're able to dodge aside as it smacks down into the ground right next to you. And then it's got a hold of Rowan, so it uses its tentacle to push you towards its mouth and attempts to sink teeth into you. It does so. Round 3. Melil.
Yeah, I'll keep use sword again against it.
Another stab, a punch, and a kick. All hits. So Melil is just a flurry of motion. Blood splatters everywhere, purplish blood. And Rowan, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm channeling Divine Fury into my weapon and take a swing at one of its stumpy legs. That will hopefully do it.
That hits. Bites into it. You hit it in the leg pretty hard. It staggers, flopping down on, like its mouth bites into the ground for a moment as it tries to get its legs under it again. It's kind of groaning and barely clinging to, I guess you'd call it life. You see the portal flashes, infusing it with necromantic energy, or necrotic energy, I should say, necrotic. And it will do the same thing. It will try to tentacle Rowan and Melil, the two threats to it.
Is that a somehow undead creature?
On your turn, you could do a knowledge check to make that determination. Rowan, you have been critically hit for 11 bludgeoning, 5 piercing. And the other tentacle for Melil. Oof. That wounded leg, it slips again, Melil, and is unable to hit you. Just gonna knock it prone, slipping on that bad leg, the injured knee. And as usual, it will attempt a bite, trying to shove Rowan into its mouth. It's been chewing on Rowan, basically. You notice she's not moving away. It's just gnawing on her. And another hit for 14 piercing. Rowan is withstanding whatever foul disease that's trying to infect her from the bite. And it still has Rowan grabbed. Holrick, go ahead.
I will try a melee. And
Your hammer smacks onto its rubbery body and actually kind of bounces off.
okay. Then I move my spiritual weapon and try to hit someone of these heads.
Okay. You can, yeah, very good. That will hit, and yes, you destroy one of them. So this one is destroyed and gone. Okay. You do see that the portal kind of weakens from that. Round 4. Rowan, go ahead.
Let's try that again. With Divine Fury and my weapon, I'm gonna end this creature's life.
So Rowan, you're in its mouth. It's chewing and like grinding its teeth on you while you're chopping it, and Holrig's healing you. And finally, you manage to bury your blade into its gullet, digging deeper and deeper down into its mouth, wrenching the blade around. Finally, all of its legs splay out. It goes limp, falling to the ground, spitting you out. You roll to Holrig's feet, pretty badly bloodied, but the creature falls still. Its tentacles flop to the ground, and it does not move. Or so you think. Dark magic flashes again, and the creature gets back up. You see its flanks heave, it sucks in a new breath, and it climbs back, its tentacles slowly writhing back up into the air. It does not have anyone grabbed, but it does stand up and continue its assault. This time it's ignoring Melil. It wants to smack Holrig because it's discerned that he is attacking the portal. So here's a tentacle for Rowan. It missed for once. And here's a tentacle for Holrig, which has hit. 5 bludgeoning, 6 piercing. And then it will attempt to bite Holrig. Since it's got you grabbed with a tentacle, the tentacle tries to usher you close to its mouth so it can sink its teeth into you, and it fails to do so. It's kind of that one injured leg keeps slipping out from under it, and when it tries to chomp down on you, you get your shield lodged between its jaws, and it just bites down on that, roars in frustration, and lets go again. And that's the end of the round for it. Holrig, go ahead.
Okay. I move.
That one is destroyed.
Then
I'm putting empty
Goodbye,
pikes in their
bonus
place.
section. In the bonus section, I attack with a spiritual weapon. And
Another critical.
Nice.
So the light of the thunder flashes with each of these attacks. You see the heads. Remember, they were still horrifically alive. Mouths open, eyes open. You see with a flash of light as Lathander lays claim to these poor souls and damages the link that this portal has to this realm. Melil.
What do you think? The pike or the monster? Don't have any bonus attacks anymore.
Yeah, we heard you.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like your friends have any advice.
So won't be able to probably kill it. I can reach this pike here, right?
Yep. Yeah, you're right next to one of them.
Okay, I'll hack at it with my sword.
Okay. Yep, that hits and removes another one.
That's all my options, I guess.
You see that the open dark energy that it kind of ripples. You see that the rippling is getting faster, but somehow weaker as well. I'm talking about this thing. It gets like more rapid, but it's kind of getting fainter. Okay, very faint at this point. Round 5. Rowan, go ahead.
Again, channeling Divine Fury and take a big swing at that creature.
Another good hit. It is enough to put it down.
That's my turn.
Okay. And then, horrifically, as usual, it gets back up and continues its attack. This time, Rowan, it ignores you. It goes after Maylil and Holrig because they're attacking the portal. It seems that it knows it's attached to. The one tentacle swipes right at Maylil, and she hops over it, passing harmlessly beneath her. And the other tentacle smacks into the back and shoulder of Holrig, latching on. 7 bludgeoning, 3 piercing, and then it will attempt to sink its teeth into Holrig, and fails to do so. It kind of bites onto his armor. You hear the teeth grinding against the metal, but it can't pierce through his armor.
Can I reach the last pike, or do you need to move first?
You will have to move. Yeah, you'll have to provoke an opportunity attack if you want to be able to reach it.
We'll hack at the monster then instead.
You stab it one more time. All right, and Holrig.
Okay, I will begin with the spiritual weapon.
The spiritual weapon swings in the air, but because it happens at the same moment that you kind of got clipped and grabbed by the guardian, your spiritual weapon swipes past and misses.
Okay, then I will try a sacred flame on the skull.
Okay. It's inanimate and cannot make dex saves, so that hits. Very good. The portal finally shudders one last time. The flames go out. And the beast's connection to it is also severed. It howls in pain. The shadow stuff around it dissolves, kind of like splashing down into the water, but not actually touching the water somehow. It seems like it's here, but not here. Connected to the portal and part of it, and as the portal collapses, so does the creature. It finally succumbs to its wounds. With a final death rattle coming out of its lungs, it sinks to the ground very slowly and then begins to decompose quite rapidly before your eyes.